Back in the day, in my college years, when I was going for my associate's degree. That's a 2 years degree of college. I was fortunate enough to take a psychology class along with a sociology class, and in those studies, I was fortunate enough to read and study the works of Abraham Maslow. And I'll tell you, his model that he made really blew my mind. At the time I had no idea that such a study of human behavior existed. But it did, and I saw in those moments the danger in teaching people to read and write. I understood how dangerous it was for this country in allowing the oppressed to have access to knowledge. I have read, and others have read, and attained an associate's degree and even higher degrees. And I'm sure they also encountered Maslow's hierarchy, but they have a different take from it than I did. Why? I guess it goes with the saying that two people can read the same book and each one will have a different understanding of it, just as several people will see an accident, and you will get several different accounts of that same accident. From my understanding and study of that model, it opened my eyes to what we as African Americans encounter on a daily basis, in our religious understanding, so I'm going to try to give you in this short video my understanding that I got from Abraham Maslow's hierarchy, his model, which is what he observed of human behavior over a period of time, and with various individuals that he had interviewed. Some of you may not agree with this model, but I tell you, this is used by the government, is used by the think tanks, and it is used by what is called social engineers who socially guide the behavior of the masses of people, and in this particular sense, they understand this model and how we fit into it, and what we think we know, we don't, what we think we believe, we don't. Basically, when it comes to our belief, we as a people are hypnotized into believing that we believe. I'm going to attempt to relate this model of hierarchy of needs, of human behavior. Bear with me and I hope you'll enjoy this presentation. One of the founders of humanistic psychology, Abraham Maslow, developed theories on human behavior and motivation that have had a major impact on the public consciousness. His theories shape not only psychology but many other fields, including counseling, education, and management. Abraham Maslow's book Motivation and Personality, published in 1954, second edition 1970, introduced the hierarchy of needs. Each of us is motivated by needs. Our most basic needs are inborn, having evolved over tens of thousands of years. Maslow's hierarchy of needs helps to explain how these needs motivate us all. Maslow's hierarchy of needs states that we must satisfy each need in turn, starting with the first, which deals with the most obvious needs for survival itself. Only when the lower needs of physical and emotional well-being are satisfied, are we concerned with the higher order of needs, of influence and personal development. Conversely, if the things that satisfy our lower water needs are swept away, we are no longer concerned about the maintenance of our higher order needs. The simple but powerful point of the hierarchical structure is that all the requisite needs of each prior level must be met in order to achieve the next level. If physiological needs are not being met, the individual must spend all his energies needing the basic needs of food, water, and temperature regulation. Without these needs being met, the individual dies. One must exist for safety to be an issue. Likewise, it is easy to see that an individual who is consumed with survival will not have the time and energy required to develop the emotional and intellectual pursuits necessary for higher-level development. The individual who believes that his environment is inherently dangerous cannot trust. Without trust, one cannot experience or give love and affection. If physiological and safety needs are not met, and an individual cannot find love and affection within his social group, he will not be able to generate positive self-regard. It is only when physical, safety, love, and self-esteem needs are effectively met, that the individual can turn his thoughts and energy to become all that is within his capacity to be. Maslow, in his construction of the hierarchy of human progression, demonstrated that physiological needs, which are the most basic needs, form the base of the hierarchical structure. Needs like water, oxygen, food, and shelter must be acquired first, to progress to the subsequent order of needs, that is, to move up the scale, the more basic need must first be satisfied. This simple but powerful point of the hierarchical structure demonstrates the sad reality of the African American in his so-called theology. What really significant time have African Americans had since slavery to seriously contemplate the creator of the universe, God? Those individuals who have had some success on the lower levels are too caught up in the world to have their attention turned toward God or spiritual things. The world, money, sex, and entertainment with drugs, and all types of folly are where their attention will be found. The first 4 levels of Maslow's hierarchy are referred to as the deficit, or D needs, that are essential to survival. When a deficit exists, the individual is instinctively motivated to meet the need, in order to maintain physical and emotional balance. At the pinnacle or apex of the structure is self-actualization. Self-actualization is the need to fulfill what one believes is one's purpose. It also involves the search for God. At this level, one has the time and freedom to contemplate the existence of God and his relationship to the universe. Maslow said that needs must be satisfied in the given order. Aims and drive always shift to the next higher order needs. Levels 1 to 4 are deficiency motivators. Level 5 is a growth motivator and is relatively rarely found. 1. Biological and physiological needs, like air, food, water, shelter, warmth, sex, sleep, etc. 2. Safety needs like protection from elements, security, order, law, limit, stability, etc. 3. Belongingness and love needs, like work groups, family, affection, relationships, etc. 4. Esteem needs like self-esteem, achievement, mastery, independence, status, dominance, prestige, and managerial responsibility, etc. 5. Self-actualization needs, like realizing personal potential, self-fulfillment, seeking personal growth, and peak experiences. Well, there it is, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's been my pleasure to bring this material to light, in hopes that it may enlighten those fortunate enough to view its contents. We, as African Americans, have a very serious problem, unknown to us, because we are so adjusted to the problem that we think it is normal, but it is not. What I'm speaking of is our religious theology, no matter whether we are Christians, Muslims, or any other denomination. We have gone through slavery, and we think that now it's okay, but it is not. Our theology that we claim to have has been given to us by our white slave masters. We have never questioned, nor tested, to see if that theology is true. As an example, you would not buy a house from me or anyone, just because I want you to. Let us say that the value of this house is $200,000, but I'm going to sell it to you for only $100,000. All I need from you is your signature on the bottom line. Now, tell me, would you buy this house just on my word, or would you like to check it out, do a walk around, look inside, and check the structure and the foundation to make sure it is sound and livable? Any person with good common sense, before they would sign, would do a thorough investigation. But here we are in the 21st century, jumping right into these various religions without checking them out, and we call ourselves intelligent and smart. We have not had the time to sit down and truly contemplate the existence of God, the universe, or even ourselves. We are so hung up in the first rung of the ladder, the biological and physiological needs, the basic life needs of air, food, water, shelter, warmth, sex, sleep, and etc. So, this was my motivation in presenting this video. Hopefully, you've learned something. If you like this video, let me know and I will present others as enlightening, informational, and inspirational as this one. Thank you. Thank you for being patient. I trust that you found this video educational, informational, and inspirational, which is always my goal when presenting material such as this to the public.